So we are going to discuss and analyze the Lewis model of economic development. This is one of the models, the very first one uh, in the structural development strand of economic development thought. So economists thought that we need to change the economy structurally and then only the economic development shall be possible. So Lewis model believes that there is one traditional agricultural sector and another is a modern sector which is a manufacturing sector. So you see that we have so many workers in the uh, agricultural sector. So you can see that quantity of labor here is in millions, while the industrial sector has only workers in thousands. This indicates that possibly the agricultural sector is very, very large compared to the manufacturing sector or industrial sector. So now see, first let's discuss about this agricultural sector. So see what is happening here. We have on the x-axis we have the quantity of workers in agriculture. On the y-axis we have total product coming from the agriculture. This is given by production function which depends on labor and agriculture, the capital in agriculture which is constant in the short run, and the technology which is also constant in the short run. So see, as we increase the number of workers in the agriculture, the production function in agriculture that is given by the green line. So this increases initially and then becomes flat. So this flat portion depicts the surplus labor. Why? We know that the slope of this production function gives us the marginal product of the worker, and you see that when it becomes flat, so then the slope becomes zero. So we are at the point where the marginal product of the worker, agricultural worker, is zero. And if any worker is not producing anything, the marginal product is zero, then that is a surplus labor. So see, now comes the question that the marginal productivity theory of the wages. We know that the wages should be equal to the marginal product of the worker. But then problem is this, that the marginal product of the worker in agriculture is zero. So can we give zero wages to worker and they survive? No. So what Lewis assumes that here the wages is institutionally set at the average product of the worker. So idea is this, that suppose the total output is 1000 and this is produced by 100 workers. So the average product is 10, that is the agricultural wage. So this is the agricultural wage which is decided by the uh, average product of the labor rather than the marginal product of the labor. So visualization wise, Lewis said that assume that they are sitting on the dinner table and then they are circulating one bowl of grain from which everyone is taking one fistful. So it's like that everyone is taking the average out of the total product. Now let's talk about the modern sector, that is the manufacturing sector. So you see that here again, this is the quantity of labor in manufacturing. This is the output of total product of the worker in the manufacturing. And this is given linked by this production function, which says that this labor in manufacturing, capital in manufacturing, which is fixed, and technology in manufacturing, which is also fixed. So you see that this production function, the orange line, is drawn for a given level of capital. So see, this slopes of this production function is going to give me the demand for the labor, that is also the marginal product of the labor. So this blue line. So you see that initial demand for the labor curve is D1, D1. Now the manufacturing wage is constant and greater than the agricultural wage. So WM bar is greater than WA. Why? If you have to attract workers towards city life, manufacturing life, you have to give them little higher, because this is to adjust for the uh, this is the cost for their movement. You are giving them little higher so that they need to have something better than they are already getting, so that they want to shift to modern sector. Now, uh, see here carefully. So what is happening is this: we are getting this is the total product that we have obtained by looking at the equilibrium E1, and at that equilibrium we have hired L1 workers in manufacturing. This L1 worker, they are producing altogether this much of output. Okay, so this entire output is D1 E1 L1 O. So out of this much goes for paying out the wages. So remaining portion, that is D1 W bar M E1, is the profit portion, which the industrialist is assumed to reinvest in the industry. So now what is going to happen, that we are taking when the industrialist is reinvesting this, so we will have a higher capital stock, that is K2 bar. So we will have a higher production function. So this production function is actually given as TPM KM2 bar, and we are assuming that Km3 bar is greater than Km2 bar is greater than Km1 bar. We will have our third bar also. So with this we will have a higher, once this is reinvested, we will have a higher level of marginal product, because now the worker is working with more number of uh, capital than he was working earlier. So that's why the marginal productivity of the worker is also higher. So we are having it like this. And same way it will come out here. Okay. So now this is TPM2. This portion is TP, sorry. And this particular point is TPM2. So, and this is L2. We have hired more number of workers now. Now the profit portion will be even higher. So we are going to have now this also in profits. So question comes, from where we got this increase in workers. So this extra workers L1, L2, from where this is coming, we have actually taken some workers from here and shifted them to the manufacturing. So you can visualize that you are taking a trolley, a truck or something like that, and putting people in there and dumping in the manufacturing sector. So you are taking this bus. Okay, so this is for visualization sake. I am putting my workers in this bus, taking them here and dumping them here. Okay, so this way I am bringing in more workers and industry labor supply curve. This is actually horizontal, so I can hire as many workers as I want at the prevailing wage WM bar. So similarly, this profit will again be reinvested. So this was D2, D2. This profit is being reinvested, so we will have even a higher production function now. So this will be like this, which is nothing but TPM KM3 bar. And then corresponding to this, we will have our marginal product curve. And so like this. So this is going to be here something a TPM3, and this is L3. Okay, and this is D3, D3. So this again, from where we are getting workers, we will hire more workers and shift these workers here. Again, my bus will actually start from here and dump my workers here. So see how this is happening. So what is happening overall? See, the size of this agricultural sector is shrinking. I am moving all the workers from agriculture to industry, and size of the industrial sector is actually increasing. So this is exactly what we wanted for the structural transformation. So we are increasing the industrial sector in the economy by transferring surplus workers from the agriculture to manufacturing. So is there any limit to this expansion of urban sector at the cost of rural sector? Yes, there is. So the point when we reach here, where all the excess agricultural workers, means all the workers with the MPL is equal to 0, they are transferred to the manufacturing sector, then we will not have any worker with the MPL is equal to 0, but rather they will have this greater than 0. And the moment MPL is greater than 0, if we transfer them, then we are going to reduce the agricultural output as well. So we are not going to do that. So that is what, that is when the transfer will stop. So this particular point where we stop the transfer has a particular name. This is called Lewis turning point. So the Lewis turning point occurs in the Lewis model when the surplus labor is exhausted, and that is characterized by transfer of all the workers for which MPLA is 0. Okay, so this finishes the explanation of the Lewis model. Now, the Lewis model is also not free from criticism. One of the most important criticism is, what if the industrialist is investing in labor saving technology? So see here, suppose that I have this. Now, rather than investing, so this was uh, D1, D1, and then we have our WM bar. So at this we have L1 amount of workers involved. Now, rather than investing in labor, uh, a technical neutral, invest in a technique that saves labor. So this is D2 D2 and still I am hiring only L1 amount of workers. So if labor saving technology is used, technical progress actually cancels out the Lewis model. Another strong assumption is that the industrialist is always reinvesting whatever surplus he is getting. That what you see here. But what if he doesn't reinvest? Rather than this, he sends this money in some foreign country, some Swiss bank or somewhere, or just uses this surplus, this profit for the conspicuous consumption. Then again, this model breaks down. So these are some very important criticism of the Lewis model. So I hope that you got the model. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I will try my best to answer them. And if you liked my effort, please leave comments, share, and subscribe. So thank you for watching.